Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Tyson Fury retains his WBC heavyweight title with a 10th round TKO of DEREK CHISORA. They're still talking about him being the lineal champion. He isn't. The last lineage ended with Lennox Lewis. There has not been an undisputed heavyweight champ or lineal champion since then. There's no lineage started because Klitschko was not undisputed. His brother Vitaly held the WBC title. So no, Fury is not the lineal champion and never has been. Okay. But you can argue that he's the genuine heavyweight champion because he did beat Klitschko and he never lost the belts in the ring. Now, this fight with Chisora, the third fight, it went exactly as everyone expected it to, or I certainly expected to. I predicted a late stoppage. I might have even picked the 10th round. I might have got this one right for a change. But what to say about it? Chisora trundled forward, doing his thing, bobbing and weaving. Poor man's Joe Frazier. Immensely, unbelievably courageous fighter, DEREK CHISORA. Throwing the occasional overhand right. Early on, he tried the body a bit, worked the body. Fury, an enormous man, dwarfed Chisora, who I think is only about 6'2", maybe even a fraction less, but very big and broad and stocky, but looked like a little midget against Fury, who was just an enormous man. In the first round, Fury kind of had a look at him, and then in the second round, he let his punches go, combinations. Chisora's legs looked... I was thinking in that second round, Chisora, when Fury landed flush, Chisora was staggered, and I thought his legs are gone. You know, he really is edging towards being a totally shot fighter. But even though every time Fury landed a 1-2 or maybe even a 3-punch combination, Chisora shook badly, he would retreat to the ropes, use the ropes to prop himself up. Occasionally he would come forward, throwing those overhand rights, wild, wide punches. But Fury was on fire in some of the rounds, just gradually beating Derek up. Second round was a bad round for Derek. I didn't think at the time he'd make it to the 10th, which he did. But DEREK CHISORA, what can you say about him? What an incredibly tough man he is. And this was a showcase fight. As I said in my preview video, and as a lot of people have said, it was a showcase fight for Fury before he fights Usyk, or possibly Joyce, because Fury's saying if Usyk's not ready in the start of 2023, early 2023, I'll fight someone else. And after the fight, there was this confrontation. You know, Usyk didn't say a word. Fury in his face. Usyk jumped up onto the ring apron. Fury's getting in his face, shouting and swearing at him. Usyk didn't say a word. Probably didn't understand half of what Fury was talking about. Give him a little smile. Give him a little stare. And then Joyce jumps up and starts going, you know, well, if he don't want it, I'll have it. You know, they all got, you know, the usual playground handbags, cobblers. But, yeah, I mean, Fury showcased his skills. He's a terrific fighter, terrific heavyweight. For a man of that size, of those dimensions, of that weight, to fire lovely slick combinations. He's just a very, very good fighter. He's a great fighter, great heavyweight. But yeah, he didn't really have, I wouldn't say he had nothing to beat against Chisora. He'd beaten him twice before many years ago. But he got to showcase his skills. It was a nice little run around, a nice little warm up for a real challenge, which would be Usyk. And of course, Usyk, Usyk, a much, much smaller man. I would certainly pick Fury to beat Usyk, but because of the size, if they were the same size, there'd be no question I'd pick Usyk. But Fury, regardless of his size, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, he's the heavyweight champion of the world because of his size. Fury has great, great skills. And I want to see him against Usyk. And I want to see him against Joyce. In fact, I think I would give Joyce, would I give him a better chance to beat Fury than I would Usyk? Maybe. I don't know. Think about that one. What do you think? But anyway, back to the fight. Derek's moving forward. Tyson's beating him up, basically. Derek's desperately trying to get close, desperately trying to land hooks. Did land 1 or 2 overhand rights. They had no effect on Fury. Fury at no point was hurt in this fight. And he just beat the living tar out of him round after round, softened Derek up. Derek had swellings under the eyes. One of his eyes, during the mid-rounds, I noticed in the corner, was bloodshot, so there's been damage done to the eye. He was spitting blood coming out of his nose. He looked in a terrible state. I thought they'd probably pull him out after about 8 rounds, 9 rounds, but they didn't. Was it Don Charles in the corner? I don't doubt that he really cares about DEREK Chisora, but after 7 or 8 rounds of this, I mean, Christ, does Derek have to prove himself by just getting the crap beaten out of him for another 3 or 4 rounds? I didn't think he needed to. But they let him fight on, if you can call it fighting on. They let him carry on. They let him carry on getting beaten up, is what I should say. And in the 10th round, Derek looking in terrible shape. Virtually no chance of winning. You could argue that he had no chance of winning before the opening bell, but definitely no chance of winning in the 10th round. And Victor Lachlan, the referee, stepped in and just stopped it. And it wasn't one punch. It was just like, oh, crap, enough of this, enough of this. If the corner's not going to stop it, I will. And, you know, Fury grabbed hold of Chisora, gave him a hug, give him a kiss. I sincerely hope Chisora isn't permanently injured off this fight, because I was getting a bit scared around about 8 or 9. That's probably why he's a world-class boxer and I'm not a boxer. Well, the age is there as well. But, you know, I just thought, this guy's going to get seriously injured. It's one of those fights. But can you give Fury credit? I don't know. This was a mismatch from the word go. I never thought this was any kind of test for Fury at all. This was, again, a dress rehearsal, a tool sharpener, if you like, for an upcoming proper fight. And for Chisora, it was a pension plan, not that he needs one, he's made millions already, and a very, very painful way to earn a lot of money, a very painful way. Will Chisora retire now? You never know, do you? I wish he would, because he's done his bit. Come on, man, what more do you want from the man? I mean, it's his right to say whether he retires or not. I'm not telling him what to do. He's earned the right to carry on if he wants to, but I'm getting very, very jittery watching DEREK Chisora fight. Maybe that's got more to do with me than him, of course. But how much more do you want a man to give? That's what I'd say. Afterwards, Fury, of course, there was a circus. You know, Fury, I'd like to thank my Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ, all that crap. You know, mate, your Lord and Saviour doesn't seem to give a damn about kids in hospices with bone cancer. He don't give a fuck about your fight. Trust me. You won the fight, no, not your Sky Daddy, okay? And, you know, I'd like to thank all of you, every last one of you. You're all beautiful. Yeah, of course they are, because they paid through the teeth in this recession for that crap fight. So, yeah, of course you love them. They're giving you money. Why wouldn't you love them? But Fury can fight. Whatever you think of him, whatever you think of this fight, he can fight. And him against Usyk. And I don't like all that, you know, getting in your face, swearing at Usyk. Oh, it's just a lot of playground crap. A lot of people love it. They're probably the sort of people that like singing along to Sweet Caroline, which isn't me. But, you know, a lot of people love it. The circus is on. It will be interesting, Usyk and Fury in those press conferences. I don't think it'll rattle Usyk at all, not to any degree. I mean, if your country's at war and you know people are getting blown up by bombs, you're not going to be that fussed about some bloke calling you a gap-toothed middleweight, are you? I mean, come on. But again, I think Joyce versus Fury is more interesting. But what do you think? Leave your comments below. This was a nothing fight. Something to watch on a Saturday night, I suppose, but I didn't pay a penny for it, so I don't really care. But it was all right. It was okay. The card was all right. Something to do. To me, this was like the starter. The main event is later on, Chocolatito versus Estrada 3. Now, that's a real trilogy. Go watch that one as well. I'll do a video on that one. Leave your comments below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit every button you want. Thanks a lot for listening. I appreciate your time, as always. Be good. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And don't forget, watch Chocolatito and Estrada. Now, that's a real fight.